just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. In this bulletin, 4 dead, 3 hurt in suspected case of arson. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama makes first official visit to Australia in 9 years. And Fijians honoured for service rendered to the nation. Four people are dead after their home was gutted by a fire at Navosai Narerenasinu last night. While the cause of the blaze is undetermined, there is a question of arson and a male suspect is in police custody. Ali Kimbia has more.
This was the scene last night in Narerenasinu, where 4 people died as they failed to escape from this fire. If it proves to be arson, then this might become a case of manslaughter or murder. When FBC News arrived this morning, the police forensic team was still investigating.
In the process, 3 people also sustained burns. 2 have been treated and sent home, while a 3rd victim remains admitted. A woman remains admitted in hospital, and she sustained serious burns at this point in time. The case has been classified as an alleged arson. We do have a suspect who is a male in his 30s who is currently in custody. Investigations are still ongoing.
According to Tuate Tuvuni, who was a tenant at the house, he has given a statement to police about trying to stop an arsonist who was setting the house ablaze.
I came outside the house and I saw this taxi parked at the driveway. I saw a gallon of benzene in front of the house, and I saw the guy standing in front of the main door to the house. I tried to stop him, but I couldn't, so I ran back to my house and waked my 3 kids to run for their lives. When I came back, the house was already on fire.
Meanwhile, FBC News understands 2 of the 4 victims are a couple renting a flat within the property. It is believed that the wife of the suspect in custody also suffered 80% burns and is currently admitted at the hospital. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
There have been more developments in relation to this story late this afternoon. Ali Kimbia joins us live now with the details.
Thank you, Jackie. The death toll from the fire has now increased to 5, with the woman that was fighting for her life at the CWM hospital has succumbed to the severe burns she had. Police spokesperson Ana Naisoro told me that the deceased woman is believed to be the wife of the suspect in custody. Speaking of the suspect, the story has taken another twist, with the police apprehending a 2nd suspect and is currently being questioned. Police have also managed to identify the 5 victims. And it's back to you, Jackie.
Thanks for that update, Arliki. Tropical Depression 02F has a high probability of developing into a tropical cyclone in the next 12 to 24 hours. The Fiji Meteorology Office says the system is continuing to develop within the vicinity of Rotuma.
As of 10 a.m. today, Tropical Depression 02F was located some 610 kilometers north of Nandi, slowly developing around Rotuma.
The probability of this developing into a tropical cyclone in the next 12 to 24 hours is high. As such, the members of the public should expect the weather that we are getting right now. There is, as it is, we're already having a strong warning that is already in force.
The Meteorology Office has issued a strong wind warning for the eastern half of Viti-Levu, Vanua-Levu, Lau, Lomaiviti, Yasawa and Mamanuca Group, Taviuni and nearby smaller islands.
For the members of the public to continually be in tune with the forecast or with the weather updates that we are going to be getting up, and also to take heed of the heavy rain warning and the strong winds that we are getting, especially for our mariners or sailors out there using open ponds, and for people to take the necessary precautions.
Funaki says the heavy rain which has been prevalent in some areas of Vanua-Levu and Rotuma will persist as the system tracks west-southwest of Nandi in the weekend.
There's always a chance of flooding. It ties in very closely with the heavy rain, not just because of the heavy rain, but because of the localized area that we do live in. So there's always a tendency for that, and that has been captured in the heavy rain alerts that we've been issuing, is that people have to be on the lookout for probability of localized flooding.
At this stage, the Weather Office does not expect any large-scale flooding, but is still advising Fijians to be vigilant. Matthew Mbolaitamana, FBC News.
We've got Matthew joining us live from Nandi now. Matthew, the Weather Office had another briefing this afternoon. How have things developed?
Jackie, in its latest update this afternoon, the Weather Office has confirmed that Tropical Depression O2F will become a tropical cyclone category 1 in the next 24 hours. This means the system will remain fairly weak with wind speeds up to 35 knots. The soon-to-be tropical cyclone is expected to be some 500 kilometers northwest of Nandi in the next 12 hours. The Weather Office says apart from the winds we are currently experiencing, more rain is expected around the country. There is also confirmation that the low-lying areas in Fiji could see some localized flooding in the next 24 hours as the system brings more rain over Fiji. The system is moving in a west-southwest direction, taking it away from Fiji. Back to you, Jackie.
Thanks for that update, Matthew. Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama says Fiji will continue to press for Australia and New Zealand to step back from the main table at the Pacific Island Forum. Speaking at the 22nd Australia-Fiji Business Forum in Sydney today, Bainimarama said this will allow island nations to determine their own agenda. Ritika Pratap reports.
This is Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama's first official visit to Sydney in 9 years since the Australian government imposed ban. Addressing the Australia-Fiji Business Forum, Bainimarama said things would have been different if Australia and New Zealand hadn't tried to destroy Fiji with sanctions, travel bans and a diplomatic stance that damaged Fiji's interests the world over.
It's a great shame that Australia and New Zealand, our traditional friends, our traditional partners, turned their backs on us when we set out to substitute a flawed democracy in Fiji with a proper one like this.
Bainimarama says Fiji seeks a new relationship with Australia. However, both countries still have differences over the existing regional architecture.
We also have a fundamentally opposing view of what needs to be done to reduce the carbon emissions that are causing global warming and the rise in sea levels and extreme weather events that pose such a serious threat to Pacific Island nations.
Fiji is still not satisfied with the PACER Plus agreement.
Negotiate such an arrangement, an agreement, let alone sign it, when the fundamental premise of the proposed agreement fails to take into account the realities of the economies of small island developing states.
The Prime Minister did acknowledge that relations between Fiji and Australia have warmed in recent months. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Office of the President today honoured a number of people in recognition of their exceptional service to Fiji. From the highest commendation, the Order of Fiji, to the President's Cross. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
Fijians and honorary Fijians being acknowledged for years of work in the community. Well-known personalities Sir James Michael Arcoy and Kamalesharia received the Order of Fiji, one of the highest commendations by the President's office.
I feel honoured to have an honour for my own country. Up until now we've had British honours.
I thank my people who have been behind me, working with me. I also thank my wife and my children.
Young Paralympian Abdul Imtiaz has been awarded the Medal of Order of Fiji.
I feel happy. I got 3 medals with me.
Receiving the President's Cross was Peter Ampuch, who risked his life just over a month ago to save the lives of students involved in a bus accident. He even got electrocuted and was hospitalized.
I accept it on behalf of everybody that was involved with the bus accident, especially the boys, for their courage and for them also getting injured, all the mothers that were also injured, and for Mrs. Rounds that also passed away. I also dedicate this to her.
Emi Navitio, a recipient of the President's Medal, also saved a life through her act of bravery.
I got him out on my second attempt. So by the time I got him out, I punched his chest. He coughed out a few liters of water. So that's the time I got to know he's all right.
Honorary Officer of the Order of Fiji, Litia Natanui, considers the recognition of her work an example of a more inclusive society.
I know that at this level, the government can recognize persons with disability and all the issues being brought up. That the government can do something towards persons with disability, because all those challenging points that persons with disability are facing, I am also facing.
The Honours List is a calendar event where the President acknowledges Fijians from all walks of life for their distinguished service. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
After the break, new renewable energy sites identified on Vitilevu.
With one heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulavanaka. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics, right here on Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
The claim against Police Commissioner Major General Ben Hunewald has been dismissed. Director of Public Prosecutions Christopher Pride has concluded there is no substance to the complaint that Hunewald interfered with the investigation of a South African diplomat. Pride says the Police Commissioner is empowered under the Constitution to control and direct the operations of the police force. He was also well within his powers to direct officers to release the South African diplomat from custody. He says it's clear that Hunewald acted appropriately and professionally, and there's no evidence of any criminal wrongdoing on his part. The 59-year-old diplomat with diplomatic immunity was allegedly drunk when the vehicle he was driving hit another vehicle, killing its driver. Pride says a decision on what charges might be laid, if any, relation to the traffic accident will be made after police have completed their investigations. The newly sworn-in Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations Minister Semi Koroila-Vesau says he looks forward to continuing the commendable work of his predecessor. The former government whip was today sworn in by President Ratuepeli Nalatikau at the Government House this morning. Koroila-Vesau says he's humbled, and although he did not expect the appointment, he will take up the challenge. The first order of business for the new minister, getting briefed by his permanent secretary before getting into the work of the ministry. Koroila-Vesau takes over from Chiochi Kondrote, who is now the president-elect. A study into Fiji's hydroelectric potential has identified 9 medium to large sites which can generate electricity. Titled Effective and Efficient Use of Renewable Energy Resources in Power Supply in the Republic of Fiji, the study has prioritized 3 sites in Vitilevu and Vanuatu. Eleanor Rangaiviu has more.
The study highly recommends hydropower renewable energy projects in Wailevu, the Kaunrobe, Ba River downstream of Nandarivatu Power Station, and Waivaka Village in Namosi.
I hope the findings of this study will contribute to Fiji's achievement of its target of generating 90% of its electricity from renewable energy and saving its cost, and then benefiting the economy as a whole and contributing toward a sustainable climate change scenario.
These recommendations are based on rainfall data. The study was undertaken by the Japanese International Cooperation Agency JICA and Tokyo Electric Power Service Company following a request from the Fijian government in August 2008. Assistant Minister for Infrastructure Vijay Nath says the findings have proven wrong those who said that Fiji has exhausted all its potential renewable energy resources.
My ministry intends to make full use of the findings of this report. We will make it accessible to all stakeholders, including investors, development partners, and prospective independent power producers. It gives us the opportunity to achieve government's target.
The study began in September 2013 and finished in February this year, also identifying a potential for biomass in the north and west. Nath says the identification of the potential renewable energy resources will help a government achieve its target of generating 80% renewable energy by 2020. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
Fiji has achieved the Millennium Development Goal of halving the proportion of hungry people. That's our success story today as we mark World Food Day with the theme Social Protection and Agriculture, Breaking the Cycle of Rural Poverty. Savara Tamboa has more.
Healthy foods were displayed for students at Colombo Primary School, encouraging a healthy lifestyle. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, social protection and agriculture are key to enhancing food security.
Social protection is an important part of the 23rd Agenda, as it is considered a crucial instrument to assist poor communities out of poverty.
Minister for Health Chone Usamate used the World Food Day as an opportunity to promote healthy and spoke about initiatives that ensure no one in Fiji goes hungry.
Today, I want to urge everybody that's here for all of us to prevent NCDs, to prevent non-communicable diseases by making sure that our children and all of us are eating proper food that's good for them, that we need to engage in physical activity so that we also need to make sure that we live a smoke-free life.
Children were advised that they should eat healthy meals of good nutritious values.
Please provide healthy food for your children.
Must plant food in our background.
They must eat healthy food.
Agriculture was seen as critical in raising the living standards of people. Investing in agriculture still remains the most effective way to lift people out of poverty and to raise the living standards. Sabaira Tambua, FBC News.
The government will invest $65,000 in the Wainimala Secondary School in Tailevu as part of efforts to develop infrastructure in rural schools. During a visit to the school, Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says gone are the days when parents could not send their children to school. Ellen Stiles reports.
Schools located in the rural and isolated areas in the country will no longer be neglected by the Ministry of Education.
If you push people to pay for fees, you will push them out of the school system. We don't want that to happen. The Bainimarama government doesn't want that to happen.
Dr. Reddy has stressed the government's vision for parents to be able to take their children through the education system without paying fees. $30,000 will be used on classrooms at Wainimala Secondary, with the remaining $35,000 going into the hostel block.
We will ensure that the infrastructure that you have here is same as the infrastructure in the urban area. That is part of our Pillar 3 of the reform that we are undertaking in Ministry of Education.
Nearby schools that will receive assistance include Ratu Alipate Primary School, Nakurukuru Vakatini, Naivudini District School, Nasilia ECE, Nailango School, and Namboro Sawani School. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Nakajaki, and good evening. Coming up in sports, we'll have the latest from day 2 of the Fiji International. This and more after the break.
छू छू 40 ने 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची इट्स हॉट।
The Fiji International Golf Tournament is halfway through, with day 2 coming to an end in the last hour. Our West reporter Josephine Navula now joins us live from Nandi with the latest from today's event.
Thank you, Jamie. One thing all golfers had in common like yesterday was the struggle to find their mark in today's competition. Wind disrupted most competitors' rhythm even as they tried their best to stay the course at the Natandala Bay Golf Course. Now, taking a look at the leaderboard, world number 16 and top bat Matt Kuchar leads with a 2 over par score as he cutted an even par 72 today. Aaron Price, who cutted the best score of day 2 with a 2 under par 70, is in second place on 4 over. Fiji's Vijay Singh lies in 14th place with a score of +9 after 2 days. We caught up with defending champion Steve Jeffries on his chances of defending the title.
With the strong winds, golfers have displayed their best to stay ahead of the competition. Out to defend his title, Steve Jeffries says he will need to pick up his game.
Looking at the scores, it's probably not going to be too bad a start. You know, I haven't blown myself out of it, which I'm still right there going in the next few days.
Jeffries adds the tournament is all about improving each day.
I'm reassess with the caddy what we did right, what we did wrong, and then from there come out tomorrow and just try and make a better fist of it.
South African golfer Nick Cullen says a lot of determination is needed to make a strong finish.
So you got to keep in mind that you can't win it on the first day, but you can definitely lose it out here, and it's just crazy. You just got to keep trying to make pars.
The 132 competitors continue to battle against strong winds at Natandola Bay Championship Golf Course, where the tournament will end this Sunday. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Vodafone Fiji Sevens captain Jose Kolinisau says he wants to take his knowledge of golf to the next level. He adds the Fiji International is doing a lot to develop the sport in the country and is a great platform for locals to showcase their skills. Kolinisau said learning the sport has been an interesting experience.
I really want to take up golf seriously after thanking Callaway for giving us a new set of golf clubs, me, Mosi and Ben. So probably when I get time off from the hectic schedule we have for sevens, I want to try and spend some time going to try to perfect my golf game.
Kolinisau is an ambassador for the Fiji International alongside Emosi Mulevoro and national sevens coach Ben Ryan. The Suva football side received a boost today for next month's Pacific Cup in New Zealand. Logistic company CFR Line Group gave the Whites $7,000 for expenses at the event. The capital city side, along with Nandi, Rewa and Lautoka, will represent the country at the annual meet.
I would like to thank CFR Line of Group's logistic for supporting Suva football for this Pacific Cup. So Suva will be declared CFR Suva for Pacific Cup.
The tournament is scheduled from November 18th to the 22nd in Auckland. Whether the Fiji men's hockey side will play in the 2016 Rio Olympic Games depends on how it does against Australia and New Zealand in the Oceania Cup. The team will need to win the tournament to make it to Rio. Chalen Dadakadaka has more.
The Fiji men's side is assured of one of its toughest challenges yet, battling Australia and New Zealand for a ticket to the Rio Olympics.
We've seen only gold in the South Pacific Games, and we want to challenge ourselves now by going a little bit further. And we're ready to do our best.
The side had initially withdrawn due to lack of funds, but the Fiji Sports Commission, Oceania Hockey Federation and New Zealand Hockey stepped in to save the day and fund the trip.
Apart from going to the Oceania for the Olympic qualification, it's a good chance for us to improve our ranking because the points for your continental competition is higher than the World Series or the OPC. So our target basically is to improve our ranking so that we're closer to qualifying for the Commonwealth Games in 2018.
Next Wednesday will be their first match when they meet world champions Australia. The 18-member Fiji squad departs for New Zealand on Sunday. Chalen Dadakadaka, FBC Sports.
The Wallabies have extra motivation against Scotland in their World Cup quarter-final with Matt Giteau and Stephen Moore set to join an elite club by playing their 100th tests. The Wallabies say winning is the number one priority, but Giteau and Moore's impending milestones add an extra layer to their do-or-die contest. The Wallabies take on Scotland at 3 a.m. on Monday, while at 12 a.m. Ireland play Argentina. On Sunday, South Africa meet Wales at 3 a.m., while the All Blacks take on France at 7 a.m. And you can watch all these games live on Fbctv. That was your sports for tonight. Good evening.
The Fiji fashion industry is getting attention across the region and even some international recognition as a growing industry. Part of the reason is the taste and creativity of young Fijian designers. One of those new designers is a 28-year-old man who created what would to become the overall winner of the Rural Women Fashion Show held at Vodafone Arena last night. Mataya Singaroro from New Rua village, Madhuwata, designed a wedding suit for a wedding couple made of pandana sleeves. Attire such as a sulu chamba, wedding dress, bulaware and summer dresses were showcased. Minister for Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation, Rosie Akbar, says it's overwhelming to see women from rural areas come out to take part in such events.
We were able to bring these emerging designers to the expo for the first time, and I think we have given them a good platform. We've encouraged them to come forward, and these are new designers, and what we have seen, I think is just wonderful, and I hope this will inspire many more to come forward.
About 24 women got a chance to showcase their fashion designing skills and talent in last night's show, which drew a big crowd as testimony to Fiji's emergence in the world of fashion. Rain and windy conditions affected most parts of the country today. Tropical disturbance 02F was located just south of Rotuma at midday today. The associated trough of low pressure with associated cloud and rain affects Rotuma, Fiji, Wallis and Futuna and Samoa. Temperatures Suva and Savu were the coolest at 24 degrees. Nadi recorded 30 degrees. Lautoka had the highest at 31 degrees. Ba was on 29 and Lambasa recorded 27 degrees. For tonight and tomorrow's forecast, periods of rain and few thunderstorms, isolated heavy falls expected, along with the possibility of localized flooding. And the outlook for Sunday is rain and thunderstorms gradually easing. And recapping the main stories tonight, 4 people are dead after a suspected case of arson in Narere Nasinu last night. Public prosecutor clears police commissioner of allegations of interfering with investigations. And Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama maintains Australia needs to step back from the Pacific Island Forum. Our poll question this week, we are asking, should we keep John McKee until the 2019 Rugby World Cup? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. Join us again tomorrow at the same time with Amrita Pradashni. I'll be back again on Monday. Till then, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Nimo Demanda.